So, okay. So this is just where he talks, guys. So,
back to the channel. As most of you know, I've been here in the Philippines for almost 6 years now. I have my YouTube channel for about 3. And I meet a lot of people, men from all over the world. And I just wanted to touch on a subject. It's a little difficult to talk about. And it's very important because a lot of guys just don't even think about this. I want to talk about expats living in the Philippines, especially those of you who are considering retiring here and staying here in the Philippines. Who knows, maybe this video could buy you a few extra years of life. The question is, what are expats, foreigners here in the Philippines, what are they dying from? Because it's happening on a regular basis. And as you know, the Philippines is a beautiful and welcoming country, attracting expats from all over the world. Makes it, it's a popular choice for retirees. And of course, digital nomads like me. There's more digital nomads here like every day. However, like anywhere in the world, life expectancy and health for expats, for older men, for seniors, depends on various factors. And if you understand these common health risks, it can help you be more prepared and maybe live a little bit longer. The number one cause of death here of seniors in the Philippines is cardiovascular disease, which I think is pretty true around the world. And one of the leading causes of death for expats in the Philippines is heart attacks. As you may know, this has been my health issue. I had hypertension, I had heart attack, I had quadruple bypass surgery. And strokes and heart attacks are a common reason for expats here to pass away. I myself ended up in the emergency room here with a heart issue. I don't know to find out what it was. They said a heart event, but that was a couple of years ago. Additionally, stress levels, whether from adjusting to a new country, a new environment, managing their finances, that can lead to high blood pressure, something else.
okay. I wanted to say on that, again, this is him. One of the videos was about 2 months ago, and then some of it was like 2 weeks ago that he was talking about that. And he did. And on a side note, I see a few other people and they're making comments to keep our personal life off air. Unfortunately, it still gets aired, and I have my limits because he already screamed on air. And actually, you can ask me, I don't care. I mean, our life, most of it is already out there once you do YouTube. And also to address LG, yes, it is George's YouTube channel. Okay. Everything drops into his bank. Yes, I can do it. And legally, I can do it. For all those naysayers that keep saying, oh, well, you're on Social Security disability and you're not allowed to. Everything is on the up and up. The thing is he keeps saying he's done too. And when he walked out today, he still walked out. There's nothing, like whatever. So it doesn't matter to admit that we both do it. For the trolls that think they're going to turn me in, you can bite me, because legally I still can do this because the channel only makes $300 a month. So being you're taking damn notes, LG, it doesn't make enough to affect even if I did take over it. And that's fine. So either he can run the channel or I can do it, or probably won't see him for a few days and then he'll be back Saturday. My guess is regardless of what I said, he'll be back Saturday. But the whole thing is for those that have been around and the way he acted and that I did, and this went off like this today, what, just to shut it down so it can be run somewhere else or talked about, or that we're not going to respond? We've been doing social media for a few years, okay? So you can go back to the channels that you usually frequent and they can do whatever the hell they want. But $300 isn't making or breaking somebody, and it sure the hell ain't going to mess with my Social Security. So take notes. Go ahead and take notes on that. Oh, there he is. See? You back? There it is.
Yeah, I got your ice cream.
Isn't the door locked?
It's locked. Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. Oh, LG's in there trying to start trouble. I already set his butt straight. He's talking about, you talking about it's your channel, or you're going to do the channel, or he's not going to come back. And I'm like, get over it. Social Security ain't doing nothing over no.
Yeah, I got your ice cream. You want? Ube or you want cheese?
Hold on. Let me run the rest of this real quick, guys. Here, let's. Well, we have to leave. Well, don't worry about that. I'm not. Don't. The light, it's hot, babe. I'd rather leave it shaded down. Okay. All right, let me play this through.
Else I've had too, which is a major risk for strokes and heart attacks. It's crucial, like, to monitor your blood pressure regularly. I monitor my blood pressure every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. If it's okay, it's usually good, then I don't take any medication at all. And I found the longer I'm here, the less stress I have, the less medications I need. But you have to have the pressure, eat a regular diet, engage in regular physical activity. And on the bright side, many of my friends like me have told me that after they've been here in the Philippines for a while and things are going well for them, that their blood pressure goes down, that they're off all their medications, they're just doing much, much better. They don't even need medication. Like, I was on like 6 medications when I had my first heart event here in the Philippines, and now I'm down to just 2. And so, it's much better. I feel better. And a lot of the guys I know that have come over here taking care of themselves, they're getting better too. I do meet a lot of men that come over here, and that's exactly what they do. They all of a sudden decide they've got a new lease on life, and they want to live longer, and they want to live healthier, and they start walking and working out and cut down the drinking, eating a healthy diet, and they turn their whole lives around. You wouldn't even recognize them a year after they got here. So here we go. Harsh realities of life after 60. First of all, no one is coming to save you. And also, no one cares about your past career, the thing that defined your entire life.
All right. With Mark saying that, that was a different section that he just did recently. These are audio clips put together. And yeah, I don't know.
It's ube and cheese. Oh, you want the cheese?
Yeah, I don't know about the cheese, but it looks like I got ice cream. Careful, but you did upset the puppy.
Oh, there's the napkin.
Okay, so I got ice cream here going on here. So I got, speaking of health issues here.
Oh, I got your meds too.
I hope it was good though.
I got your meds. It's the good stuff. Here, take these. Take all of them.
Oh, them are my monster cookies. That's more steroids. That has nothing to do with it. Oh, by the way, if we didn't mention, George is on steroids too. George is on steroids. I'm on steroids. The dogs are all on steroids. It could end up like a barbecue here a little bit. Okay, back to Mark. What I can literally say. Okay, we got sugar going on. Listen. Well, we'll get around. Hold on. No, we ain't making up on air. Alicia came back. I said if you disappeared, that's it. I'm doing the channel. And I already talked smack about you.
Always love you, no matter what.
I know that, but you keep hurting me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you like it so good. You're like, oh yeah.
No, when
hurt me like you mean it. Yeah.
Point is I think the steroids are getting to you.
I'm like, yeah, take it.
Okay, back to Mark here real quick. So I think you're scaring the dog again. And I told him the freaking AC's out again. I don't think the Freon with so many pounds will actually hold it. And it did fine until I dropped the temperature, but they said it could be the temperature outside. So now we have to let the block of ice thaw out again. Another 6 hours without AC again. But anyways, so things could get really ugly later today, guys.
How's the ube?
It's okay. It's really sweet. I don't know if I can. Here, let me. It's really. I can't. It's a lot of sugar. So he was discussing being over a certain age, and that's what you guys are listening to. And he did go into his medical problems. I don't know if he did already. He's going to go into discussing or did discuss about his medication, how he slowed down and everything. That's really a bad deal, guys. Okay. Mark's been through a lot of things. He came in. I'm going to give you some specs. And again, I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not to. And unfortunately, I get the respect of his children and the family where they don't think something has gone wrong. But, I don't know.
All right. Now, here's the reality. I think, guys, again, I'm not picking on anybody in particular because honestly, they've been couple deaths in my family lately.
Gosh.
And what I'm getting at is the most common cause of these deaths, again, is people
It's hard.
not taking their maintenance.
Right. And he said that if he doesn't have high blood pressure for the day, he doesn't take it.
Correct.
So, all right, let me
That's why they're called maintenance. That it doesn't mean that your car isn't broken down. You don't take it to a shop. You know what I'm saying? Take your maintenance, guys and girls. Again, it's a serious thing. Okay?
Yeah, so let's
Most of the
Life
common
Oh,
for
causes.
sorry.
many, many years. Don't bore your friends and your family with your stories about work. I know it was entertaining back maybe when you were working,
Yeah,
but now
October
you're
5th.
not. You're retired. Those days are over. So let it go. You're going to regret not being more present in the lives of the people you love. How many hours of time did you waste watching TV when you could have spent it with your children? Just think about it. Your favorite show was on. Your kids go to bed, be quiet, watch a football game. Next thing you know, they're all grown up and gone, and you wish you had those days back. And speaking of
Looks like
days,
our big
your remaining
favorite
days are
troll
priceless.
and troll
The average
channel
American, I looked this
YouTubers
up,
are leaving
the
their
average
favorite
American male
comments.
lives to be
That has
76 years
nothing
and
to do
change.
with it. Me,
You probably,
no,
if you're my age, you probably
me
spent
stop doing
90% of
that.
your days already. Think about it. You spent 90% of your days already.
It's
Don't
true.
waste the time you have left. You know, the common words of men on their deathbeds.
Okay.
I've seen this in quotes time and time again of guys that died. The last thing that they said, I think Patrick Swayze said it. I thought I had more time. They just thought they had more time. They didn't realize that they were going to die so young.
Yeah. So that was really killing. Let's just say that the least, okay? Because you just heard it from his mouth 2 months ago, that you only have so much time, and it's true. When we were back in the US, we did nothing but work, work, work. I didn't have time for the kids. I didn't have, you don't spend all that extra time, and you spend all your time making money. And then, like me, you're working, you're cleaning, it's laundry, it's shopping, your day never stops. Your spouses are done without, you're too tired for the nookie train. All of these things happen and your lives fall apart. Now, on the side note, a lot of guys never give the credit to the other women, whether in the UK or America or wherever. Things go south on both sides. I told you guys when George left that I'm no angel, and things go south on both sides. Now, in that case, you don't spend that time with your kids, you run out of time. And then the guys get over here and they try to change their lives. What did happen, and I'll talk about, is Mark has been in a lot of problems in between. Okay. Stuff's already out there. We already have videos released. So when Mark got here, in his own words, in his own videos, are you serious right now? How come the funny part is I'll still be the most hated person in the Philippines at the end of the day, and you're an angel? Why? Because you're brown and I'm a racist? Is it because I'm white?
Welcome to the channel.
No. So, anyways, at the end, in the end, Mark has a lot of medical issues, like some of us do. When he arrived here, he had mental and medical issues. He said that. He went through that full discussion. This is already in the public. He had a problem 1 or 2 years ago and was in the hospital for the same thing. I need to consult with George on whether I can say this or not. Hold on. Okay, that was approved by George.
Okay. This is a PSA.
Oh, hold on. Where's my chapstick?
This is a PSA.
Wait a minute, I'm missing.
This is important, guys. This is something that, again, people should talk about. Unfortunately, nobody's talking about it.
Here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna let you know there's two PSAs going on here. One, remember, he's married to a girl that's 40 years younger than him,
Which is fine.
but that requires maintenance, a lot of maintenance. Tim K did the same thing. As I'm to understand, there's a few big vloggers that have used these medications. So you either have the little blue pill to help, which if you have a bad heart or a ticker, you can't use this stuff. But what's even worse is, what is it called? There's a name for that. HRT, MRT.
Testosterone rejuvenation therapy.
Yes.
ERT.
Like that.
I could be wrong.
Well, I had it here. Here, let me see this.
Because I've heard several things, replacement therapy or
HRT, hormone replacement therapy.
there's replacement therapy.
And he was still on it when this incident happened. Did you get them test results back on the paternity for Mark Thornton? Nope, guess not. Okay.
Well, you can just tell them.
They said that Mark Thornton is Elliot Eastman's dad. There's the mystery solved.
Mark is the father.
Okay, so okay, joke, Char. So when you take these things, they're really harsh on the body. You've seen Tim K's face break out. You've seen him in a rage. Some people claim that could be the rage that he was in, or he could just been a mean old fart. Who knows? Think it's the HRT?
Mm-mm.
You think he had a partial stroke a while back?
The HRT, you don't get roid rage from HRT. Myth.
Oh, you been on it or something there?
All day, every day. I get it from China.
It's probably it, but that stuff is really messed up, guys. And I will say some things today that came from several Doomageddon people, again, trying to leave as much as what the status of Mark is. But at the end of the day, he said that he was only measuring his blood pressure, and if it was fine, he didn't take his maintenance medicine. That's not good, guys. It came from his mouth. And yeah, he might have been moving around and all of this. Huh? No, I haven't. We didn't.
No, again, guys, it's in all seriousness. Take your medicine, please.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of us have issues. We've seen, like, a lot of people, oh, Heidi, you're fat, you're big, you don't listen, you eat junk. You're right. I got donuts right here. I'm about to eat some donuts for Mark here in a little bit because I'm gonna be living my best life, whether George walks out or not.
And actually,
What the heck? Are you serious? This is what you got me?
those are donuts.
What is this?
They're Pinoy size.
I can think of something else that's Pinoy size that almost got you in trouble this
No,
morning.
those are not donuts, guys.
Yeah, they are. When I seen them, when you showed them on the camera today, those look big. It's kind of like George on his Tinder app. And then he sent me photos. I'm like,
It's all about the angle.
yeah, because he's like, he put the camera up and I was like, yeah, them look good. Get that donut.
No, see, these are donuts. Oh,
So why'd you hand me this box, you jerk?
oh look.
You can put it. Oh, that actually works. And I did tell them during all this, I said, you're the nicest person. We get along 95% of the time. And that you're the funniest person I've been around. But sometimes you're a real jerk. I'm a real jerk. And the first thing you are is passive aggressive. Are you serious?
What? You're not Marilyn Manson.
I thought it was Tommy, whatever, the
No.
drummer.
Marilyn Manson, allegedly, which is a myth, had his ribs ripped.
Okay, so either way. So here's the thing. You have to decide what you guys are going to do. And we're going to get into side things and discuss things. You guys could talk amongst yourself. And believe me, George has probably quit. Because, oh, crap, that's got strawberry in it. You can watch me stuff my face. Here's the thing. I could pass away tomorrow. I'm telling you. Someone, I think, was talking about you should find a Filipina. Why don't you find a Filipino woman, George?
This is donut vision. I see everything in
You see
sugar
people talking
coating.
about us in there?
Huh? I can't see what? Yeah, everybody's saying nice things. Donut vision.
And believe me, George won't care. And technically anymore, I don't. I learned that a long time ago from the best advice over in Doomageddon I ever got. And then I'm like, the trolls would like to come over. Most of them know where we are. Come on down if you can get your fat ass up over there. Get your fat asses up over my gate.
My eyes are blurry.
Yeah, you probably got some sugar in it, silly.
No, my eyes are glazed.
That's probably what you went out there and did. That's why George out there.
That's a different kind of glaze.
Now stop. Okay, so everybody has to decide what they're going to do when they actually get him. You a real jerk. Oh,
That's
and
what I
I
did.
think LG or the other guy said we shouldn't put our stuff on air, and I'm like,
No, you
oh
should.
yeah, we're gonna get but we get views
That's what
for it.
Pornhub is for. Oh, I said it.
I don't care if people see that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, guys, just go on Cornhub again. Just look for George and Heidi. It's right there.
That's where our real money comes from.
Exactly.
Do your eyebrows. Can you do your eyebrow? There's a vision for y'all. You got like,
Yeah.
you know they are. You gonna cry?
Now here's the sad part. They probably think we're joking.
Right? We're so broke. That's what we do. We bring in a few Koreans and Japanese guys on the occasion because George can't get the job. But it only takes a little bit more chapstick to get it done. So, all right. So I guess we can
And
go
some
through.
scuba gear.
Okay. With more chapstick.
Well, it's called diving for a reason.
Hey, look, live dogs MMA got banned finally. We allowed him, which was allowed.
Why'd you ban him?
He's just being stupid. He went from just being a little bit of troll to a bunch of troll and just wanted to take up room, and I felt he was a waste of space, so I banned him.
Wow. A little harsh.
If it offends him, then it was meant to be, and you know, just like I said, turning this room into an incinerator.
Too many crickets, woman. Gosh.
Maybe we should play that video of "Don't Fear the Reaper."
You can.
I don't know. I don't know if we should play that.
It's nothing to do with anybody. Okay, actually, correction. It has something to do with everybody, and that's the
No,
point.
that's true. George did say it's
It
not
has nothing to do with anybody, but it has everything to
It
do with
was
everybody.
inspired, and we're not saying. But if we play it, then they're going to say that's what happened. And
That's like saying, look both ways before you cross the street. Like when I got those donuts, actually
no.
today, there's this lady just crossed the street without looking. I'm sure you guys encountered that, and I'm like, Jiminy Crickets. What if I wasn't paying attention? I mean, because there's a lot of them that don't like that guy that hit that guy that was
Hey,
already down on
Pablo.
the ground. There's like today, not today, the other day, yesterday actually, there was this guy on a motorcycle texting. Okay, I get it. I see texters in the U.S. on the interstate on a motorcycle.
Doubt it,
But-
Darren. Hey, Darren said that you popping off and being upset all the time is because you're sexually frustrated.
Well, if you must know.
There it is.
Are you volunteering, if you know what I mean?
Dude, listen, if I'm not getting the job done at least twice a day, then we got machines and toys for that.
What?
We've got extra dogs and cats in the house.
Yes, peanut butter.
And we got machines.
We have gobs of peanut
and
butter.
we have
That's
walking
what it's
street.
for.
Ain't nobody sexually frustrated here but you, my good man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You only
Good afternoon.
assume that, but I tell you what, that's the one. I know, but see her just staring at the door? Look at her. No, you have to save my Christmas present for. We're going to be going. Oh, I can't say where we're going today. I was hoping
It's
I was
right
getting.
here.
No, you ain't putting on the mistletoe belt. Well, you might as well. We were going to do our skits with.
Old dog. Hey, Paul.
Hey, I'm sure he's watching. No, we were going to do
Hey, baby
this
me.
skit with our skits with Ricky
Wait,
and all that.
where's the
Hey.
scrolly thing?
Because I didn't have no time. I was too busy talking crap about you.
Yeah, I know. That's what you do all the time.
Yeah.
It's your hobby.
Yeah, I told him if you went out that door, that was the end of it. I'm not doing the channel with you no more. And then here we are.
Yeah.
So 1 second here.
Wow, we're really.
Well, of course, we haven't gone through anything. So we will go through and address the comments. I'll address them from the bottom and anything else in between.
I'll address them. Hi, y'all. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, okay. Pablo told you to mellow out. I've already been called a Karen. Mark has a weak heart. William Abrams is in the house. He was the guy, I believe he's still back with his wife. He was building the house out there. We've had him in here before. Hello, hello. William, we know that you frequent all those channels like a lot of guys in here frequent the channels, and that's fine. It's all fair in the game. We really don't care about that. We already know that people know where we are and that there are the drones. But I want to let you know that a lot of that footage is old, so that'll probably bring them back around again. But I don't care. It doesn't. It doesn't change our life. We don't fear it. The worst case scenario, you guys are going to get a gawk at me out there and no brawl and looking like crap. So
Hey,
life goes on. That's true.
I don't want you showing your goodies.
Well, my goodies were dangling all over the place this morning. So when I was out there taking care of the dogs.
You ho.
So
No wonder the guys go at the gate. They do.
Well,
They do.
Here, I mean, we understand.
Yeah. Now, in all honesty, Jake Paul probably would have gotten more views and probably got more money without getting sued if, again, I heard he's boxing Jake Paul. Talking about Mark Thornton.
Oh yeah, that was a hot mess there. That means somebody said something so bad. It actually says it right here. It says this message was held. So when it's that bad and YouTube takes it, they literally throw it in a pile. I don't see that too often. That means somebody was really trying to say some crap. So that's funny. It says this was held for review. It wasn't a block by
Max
censor.
He wants to take you out with sugar.
Right. Probably, but here's the thing.
Bribes. Thanks, Beach Expat Pepper. He says the ice cream were bribed.
Listen to this. George eats 3 times more than me, guys. I know you guys think because of my size. No, I was off a thyroid for almost 5 years. That's no excuse. I eat sugar. I ain't gonna lie that I don't eat fast food, pizza, and sugar. And then I drink my calories. But also, I've been on steroids consistently for a few months. So actually, since last year, and that I cut out on eating a ton of greens like I used to. I think it was the beginning of the year I went on that diet and cut out on a bunch of stuff. I've actually still lost weight, and reweighing myself, I am losing it. I just ain't losing a ton of it like I was. And I'm not paying $200 a month to go on those shots that cause more medical issues for people. And with my medical issues, it's not going to actually work. So
yeah. Oh, guys, again, thank you for Darren D. Just thank you for mentioning that because we weren't done. TRT is good for you. Once you get into TRT, you're in it for life. Okay, it's not that TRT is bad for you. What it was is they're getting bad TRT.
Bad batches.
Correct. It's not that it's not bad. However,
well, and you want
the stuff that they were getting
is bad.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. It's not the real legitimate TRT. It's not FDA approved, as it were.
It's kind of like when the party favors are cut with Drano and not the real deal, or just not pure. Back in the day, they still do it.
They cut it with X-Flax or something like that. But I wouldn't know. I see it in the movies. But yeah, they're getting messed up stuff. That's what is bad. Yeah, but thank you for mentioning that because again,
and that's right, Darren. I'm sure Darren is somebody we already know. He's going on about masculine energy. Sounds like MYK. Sounds like Mike is in the house.
That's hilarious. I can't say that, but yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. China calls it.
And usually it's the same people. It's weird. Over the last 4 years or a couple years that we've had the channel, not a whole lot has changed on the type of trolls we've had or the YouTube channels that are actually creating accounts to come in and get us because they slip up by saying things in their own live streams, the way they word things, and we've actually been told who they are. So it's like they already knew or been somewhere else and used that name. So we know most of it is.
Did you address that?
I haven't been through any of it.
No.
So let me address as of this morning. He is.
He's still alive.
Yes, the hospital said he's open
still alive for visitation.
Visit. They gave visitation hours, so that much I can say.
Yes.
So honestly, in this whole situation, I went through the whole thing of poor Mark, poor Jen, poor baby. And I've been assured by different people that Mark would have had more visitors pre the thing going on and the things he did to Dexter and the enemies he made and the things that he does and how he's done his YouTube channel and some of the stuff they said he's done over the years. But he kind of burned his bridges and possibly whatever boat he might have been on. But in reality, it was really the wife and baby I'm worried about. But here's the thing, and I'm just going to be brutally honest on this one. She's going to move on, and she's going to move on quick. There are so many couples where the spouse dies, American, British, or whatever, or they split or break up, and them Filipinas move on. They have somebody already waiting. Like she's probably got 10, 20 guys lined up already. And I'm like, now I'm just going to say this. Could you actually imagine having Mark's baby in there staring at him while they're in there getting their freak on?
Whoa, really? Oh my gosh.
What? That's too dark?
No, it's not that. Now my brain's blind.
Well, he's got big eyes, so I'm just saying he looks a
Jiminy
little bit like
crickets.
Mark. Well, the whole point is it's just weird. I don't want to be somewhere where Mark has been. Let's just put it that way. You called it sloppy seconds. I called it I'm not putting mine in where his was, or whoever, and vice versa, already knowing that. But these guys, that is the one thing that MYK had correct. He said that a lot of these guys are waiting and they don't care. It's like they can't go out and find other women. They're waiting in the wing for these women like they're the only women alive.
Honestly, sometimes I wish I was brutal.
No, I wish you was. That's what I said. That's what I'm going to do. But instead, you get super quiet. That's what this whole thing has been about. Well, not quiet all the time, but that's the problem.
Yeah, but well, anyway,
But
yeah.
all in end, he is still
No, he's still alive. Yes, contrary to what people say. I know I've heard.
No, this morning I talked to the hospital and they did tell me.
Yeah, contrary to what people say, he's still alive. Yes.
No, he's definitely okay. Unless something's happened in the last, I think that was about
30
4
minutes.
hours. No, it's not been 30 minutes.
Well, I'm exaggerating.
Oh,
It's
exaggerating
cold,
unless it really happens. So
yeah, I mean,
no, you're absolutely right. So who are you? Why don't you say who you are? Talking about this is your future. Sure it is. I'm exactly sure of it. I know it. I expected it yesterday, 3 days ago.
okay.
And why do you think I brought the donuts in? Just to get to people like you. Because I know it. But I didn't go off, having kids with a girl that's 40 years younger and leaving some kid behind. Is she going to get a check? Yeah. Whenever she gets around to it. Okay. But I didn't go starting a family. Now, we might be taking care of some god kids or doing different things around town with babies, but that doesn't mean we went off and made
kids,
correct. We're not going to sit there, although knock on wood, the kid will probably be here a lot, but it's the whole point is I'm not leaving somebody behind. And my kids are grown, George's are, and you know what? I'm too stubborn for this world. God or whoever or the aliens or whatever it is going to make sure that I stay here and suffer. Okay, so that's the truth. In other words, I doubt it's anytime soon. I know people feel like they're invincible. No, I'm going to sit here and live every day, probably till I'm about 85 or 90, like my grandfather, and I'm just going to have medical issues.
Okay, well, now.
But you guys don't realize, yes, you see me eating all that junk and stuff, but here's the thing. Most of you all that are out there saying that, talking about how big I am and how I eat and you're sick and why are you here? Same guys who are drinking. I don't drink. Same guys that are smoking. I don't smoke. I don't do any extra party favors. I don't do any of this stuff. Okay, so I do the fast food and I do the sugar. Is it enough to do me in? Yes. You know what's going to do me in? My lupus. Whether I was big or not, I'm still with lupus and skin cancer. Okay, so a lot of my conditions were already decided a long time ago. So I'm going to have those damn donuts. I'm going to have that pizza within reason. I don't sit down and suck down an entire pizza. No, you're not getting any pizza. I'm getting you some broccoli.
I love broccoli. Are you kidding me? It's really expensive here.
It is. Well, yeah, of course.
Broccoli and cheese.
Of course, I'm getting that.
Broccoli.
So
okay, but
No, that is the truth. People
Well-
should take care, but I take my maintenance. I go to the doctors. I do. I take my
Well-
vitamins. I walk. I go around and do things. The whole point is I also do not sit around.
The
I'm
moral,
too stubborn to go anywhere anytime
she's
soon.
too stubborn to croak anyway. Now,
Nope, they're gonna keep me around for a long time just to watch.
honestly, let's be honest with ourselves, guys. This is our future, not her future, not my future, not your future, our future.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is when is this future? Is
I
it
mean,
a year from now, or is it 20 years from now? It all depends on you if you take care of yourself.
well, yes and no. We've seen people that are doing everything. They're
Okay,
doing
well,
the proper diets,
humanly
and they can
possible,
still,
yes. I
even
mean,
the
I get
runners
it.
and health people, it can happen.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Basically, you
Yeah.
should live your best life. I just read where some guy said that he's got cancer and that he's just going to do whatever he wants the next year. And it makes sense. That's not what I'm trying
Your
to
dog
do.
is having a dream.
No, now that she's having a dream, but earlier she was upset because you were yelling. That really broke her heart. She screamed with you all the way out the door.
Well,
But so it makes a difference on your maintenance. We're not telling you not to, but reality will kick in. That is still one of our biggest worries because I'm and I can't be insured. I'm uninsurable. And the lupus was the qualifier. My weight makes the other one. And sorry, anybody that's X amount overweight, and there are some big expats here. I mean, the deny all
now-
you want, but with all of that, it's going to come down to being able to pay things, to be able to. It's just there's so many different things going on. Like her paying that hospital bill. How to arrange him, whether he'll be shipped back to his mother in the United States or to his kids wherever they are. I understand they're in the UK or something, or a bunch of different things going on, guys. There's so much going on. All that stuff she's going to have to arrange. But even if he didn't have all of his frenemies over there or YouTube frenemies, he's definitely going to have a problem where guys just don't want to go see him. It's sad. A lot of men don't want to go over there and face seeing their friends lay like that because it's they're facing their own
mortality. Yeah.
Immortality for me.
Yeah, mortality.
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's like we can't help that we're all gonna pass. However, again, we can help what we can do now. For example, if for instance, let's say Heidi's Filipino and I'm the expat. It's probably best to take care of everything now while I'm strong. Make sure, okay, when I pass, here's a will. You get, this amount. You get this. Let's sign you up. Let's go to the U.S. Maybe we live there so you can qualify
Yeah,
for
we
my
don't
Social
know
Security.
if he set that up. I know
that
Paul
kind of
and
stuff.
Old Dogs
Right.
have been working on that.
So, again, we're all going to pass. But the point is, what are you leaving behind? Forget legacy. I'm not talking about legacy. I'm talking about you make sure you take care of your peeps. You know what I'm saying?
But sometimes they can't. A lot of these guys are just coming over by themselves. They've sold everything. They cut ties, or they don't have any living people. Like they never had any kids. Their parents are dead. But they come over here, and the sad part is I've watched several channels over the years where I've heard like the discussions of where guys, are found unalived in their apartment. And they pass on. Nobody was looking out after them. Nobody was shopping. Nobody was helping. And if life was hard as and we're not going to say retiree, just somebody, elder, then it's going to be hard over here. And there's so many different things. Like I was supposed to find more information and ran out of time to go through and check locally still what they were saying about cremation and height and size and all these different things. I don't know if that changes if you're in Cebu. Like, the guys that are like 6'2" and 6'3", if they're of weight, isn't the height still going to be a problem? Of course. Correct. So there's so much more to things being done here, and you have to check these things out. But these guys don't want to deal with it because if they start dealing with it, they feel like it's putting one foot into the grave.
That's another thing. Heidi brought up a good point. We're still stuck on the Western ways as far as end of life is concerned, which means, again, for example, coffins, they probably have to have it custom made depending where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about me like you guys would think. In the U.S., they'd be there all day long for a woman of my size. But here, although the Filipinos are getting bigger, the problem is height and then size.
Yeah, and now I don't know how much truth there is as far as mutilating the bodies to make it fit into the coffin. I don't think that's true. I think that's a myth. But what I'm saying is they definitely don't do that here. So if you're too big, they're not gonna, change your body so you'll fit, if that makes any sense.
basically,
That's a
they're not
myth,
breaking the
guys.
chainsaw out like I
Yeah,
thought they
I
would.
know it in the
I-
movies
I
they show
actually-
that. That's
I-
a myth.
I actually asked. I told him. I said, "Well, why?" And they're like, "Never mind. So much for that." So I told him, "Just run me over to India, somewhere close, and just put me out there by the Ganges and
River Ganges.
yeah." Well, they do that. They pay somebody to sit there by you, and you guys just roast marshmallows for like 3 days.
Be like an Indian or Viking wet funeral. Just throw it in the river.
No, you do know what they do over there, right?
You burn them.
Yeah, but they do it on shore, and they actually
Yeah, that's what
hire
I said.
people to sit over. But they don't put them in the water and all that. They do it right there on shore and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's yeah. So
I'd
and
rather
then
still
it's
do a
another.
Viking funeral.
It is a different level because some people insist that they go back home for that, and some guys don't at all. So it's so many different things, but it all comes around to what's going on with you.
Yeah.
So, but
John Ryder says YouTube reviews me every day.
I hear you.
And Darren D says it's China TRT, correct. Now, I'm not saying all China TRT is bad, but the stuff they were passing around was bad. Correct.
Yes, Pablo, it's true. Pablo said, Daryl, is it true about George going to? It could be.
Yep. Oh, I need another bottle. I used it all up last night.
On what equipment?
I had an oil change.
I bet you did.
Laura, hey, Heidi, George. I was on the tube earlier and someone was saying she needed help. Put her name and address that she was.
I don't know what that is. Out of Georgia. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'll look into that one. Yes.
Did you send it to our email or messenger? So most definitely.
It's that he says Diddy and Kanye West had private
Yeah.
parties at ABC Hotel.
I'll go and take a look. I don't
Hey,
know.
Mark.
Yeah, because Mark says thanks. You've been telling them that repeatedly, but I don't get that. You would have to break that down a little bit more because that's the first time we've seen it in this chat, but we don't see anything in our messenger or emails. So, and if you've told us in another thing, there's no way to know without, yeah, they would have to contact, we would have to get more information or, yeah, it says he's been telling it's the second time. What's that about? Did she keep
I don't know. No, she only said it twice.
in this slide?
Oh, I've only seen it once. but-
Repeat would be like three or more times. Okay, but I don't understand.
Well, she only said it twice.
Right. She's saying it again. Repeatedly would be like 3 or more times.
Right. No, it's
Okay, I'm not going
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
So unless I don't understand the reference, but we'd be more than glad to look into it.
Dexter, is that you? Dexter says, did he ruin everyone's reputation now? When you hear the Weeds song, you're seeing Get Back to Where You Once Belong by the Beatles. There you go. There you go. Where's Afro Man when you need one?
Right.
Mark Goldberg says, oh my God, Mark staring baby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that is messed up, babe.
Well, a lot of these guys know the truth is a lot of these guys have kids and they don't mind, I'm sorry. I didn't want to take George with adult kids. And he didn't really want to. George liked single mothers, so it doesn't matter on that part.
No. I like all women. However, I attract more single mothers because they can sniff out the.
I told him that's what I liked was your boy's charm, how soft and quiet and reserved you are. Now that has turned into a freaking nightmare, man. I said he's so reserved that he either blows up or you walk out. I said there's nothing in between these days. I said, but we do get along most of the time and we make up right away. And of course, want to let you know there'll be a bunch of makeup later today. check it out on our fans only page.
That's the best part.
Now you got the dog all wound up.
William says brain freeze, right? I know that's a lot to take in. That baby staring thing, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately that is but that is the truth. It is so true.
Yeah, see, exactly. It's
I mean,
a
could you
lot.
imagine
Yeah.
it? Let's get it on.
Oh, dang.
What's going on? Can you cover that baby's face or something? He's staring at me, honey.
Dang it,
Let's
crickets.
get it on.
Okay, now William says Maya has 20 plus shooters. Now,
No, that's true.
That-
They said they line up for them girls over there, all of them. Soon as something happens,
you could be fine and they'll do it anyway. I mean, they're
all
going to
I
line up.
know is
It's like-
that Gio and her both are not innocent of things going on, like us. You guys know who I am. You guys are getting a taste of what George is. Neither of us are innocent, but we don't cheat on each other. And although look at my hair, I know my. And although you guys think there's Ike and Tina Turner going on here, there's no Ike and Tina Turner going on in this house. But in some of Dumagetti, there could be these things going on.
Yeah,
Could be
and
drinking, could be other things going on. I get it. And a lot of people like, keep your stuff off air. Yeah, some do. Some do. And we keep part of it off of air, but it's YouTube. And it's kind of like, you know, kind of like I like some of them podcasts and different things where they get into things. And it is what it is.
let's talk about those UFO. So, what did you? You said you saw it while you parked your truck in the middle of the interstate.
What the hell are you talking about
The
now?
podcast. But anyway,
no, I'm talking about where they get into things like things in their toilet and this and that happened the night before and all that. And what their wife found this and that.
Oh yes,
and they're always
let me show you the.
And if it's not, it's going to be leaked
Take-
out.
take out-
It's going to be leaked either in social media.
Check out
or
this dump I
somebody's
had
watching.
this morning. I had
Ain't no
this-
stopping this
I
train
had
now.
this hellacious dump. Look, it looks like a snake. It's a giant snake in a toilet bowl. Isn't that awesome? It's a work of art.
No, it's not. What kind of plant is that? I can tell what that is.
And see, it's so awesome. Heidi thinks it's a plant. Now this is true. Dexter says thinking about married women is just bad thoughts. Correct. If a married woman cheats with you, she'll cheat on you. Just a rule, guys. So you think you're getting a deal? No. If she cheated with you, she'll cheat on you too. So Mike says I don't like leftovers. Vivian calls them scavengers.
Because there's plenty of women.
Plenty of
I
fish.
just think you want to talk about, and sorry guys that are actually doing it. I get it, but if they're doing that, that means they don't want to do legwork and they're really afraid. Them are the guys that are left alone in the end in the apartment that won't go get things done because they're afraid to go outside here. And a lot of guys, you'll see them out there. I'm not that dude, but there is a percentage that just don't do anything. They hide in the U.S., so they're going to do it here. And you have to get out and see the people and work with people. And but them are the same guys that are moving on in and trying to grease them and pay, because here's the thing. As soon as this happens, there's going to be guys waiting for Jen. If they're not already sending her money. We're talking thousands and thousands of U.S. dollars.
She has a hospital bill, so.
No, that'll get paid somehow, some way by all these guys. And I wouldn't call them just
hospital bill, so yeah.
I wouldn't just, I don't know if that's even payable because okay. So anyways, it's going to be high. So, but there will be guys that have money, quite a bit of money, that'll come in and pay it just to help her. And that's fine. It's good that she doesn't have to deal with that and all these things going on, but it's just where it is.
It's probably about, my guess, only from experience, it's probably 3 million pesos right now.
Already. So sure.
Yeah.
That's my guess. So no, it's probably up there.
Now that's
right
a
now.
guess, but I know a lot of people getting hospitalized, and my brother is a doctor, and on average, that's right now, as of right now, it's
Which
probably,
is good, because I
it's
was like,
probably
poor Jen, and they're
3.4
like,
million,
no,
I'm
not poor
guessing,
Jen,
pesos.
because she knew what she was getting into. They will help pay her bill. They have already sent her money, and she's already got a start. The only bad thing is we know Mark took on the new car payment, which will get taken. There's no way she can afford $400 or $500 a month. I don't know. It's somewhere around over 400. And then, of course, she probably won't be able to meet rent in that area or where she was allegedly, according to the price. And so, but she will somehow be taken care of. And thank God this is a day and age, that she's in, because if this would have been 1991 or 92, let's just put it back in the day, with no internet, nobody would be taking care of her or waiting in the wings to take her. She'd have had to go out to a bar and found somebody. Or whole point is they're easier to find online, easier to transfer money, easier to get to know her, see her on YouTube. I mean, think about it. I mean, nobody, we discussed this yesterday, nobody, and I don't care whatever comments come out of this, nobody's going to be sitting here if you pass away and they're going to be waiting in the wings to take me on, regardless of size or whatever. Or
There's
if
always
you,
a trash guy.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess so, but
Well, that's a joke, but no, of course somebody will be.
well, it's what it is.
Somebody will. I mean, if I go away, of course somebody's gonna take my place.
Yeah, one of my Japanese boyfriends that just gave me some money yesterday.
There you go.
But the whole point is back in the day it wouldn't have happened, and now there's a lot of guys waiting and they're watching. I find that creepy. That's what I was trying to get to the point of, is I find it creepy that these guys are like this because they're on YouTube and they're like ready and stuff, and they're ready to pounce on the wet spot express. I just, and the staring baby.
Oh, the staring baby, yes.
And the wet spot express.
there
Ooh,
you
I
go.
can make a song. Wet spot express and the staring baby. I can make like an opera, but no. Look for the. I'm gonna write that down.
All right.
Wet spot
Pastor Kid
express
says
and
if
that
you can have
staring
visitors,
baby.
it means his condition is at least stabilized. Doggy says she's gonna move in with her
Well,
her
here's the
new
thing.
brother-in-law. Wow, that's messed up.
Well, I think she's already there. I must say, according to, I could be wrong, according to sources, that is where she is, over there.
Mhm.
I don't know about move in, but let me put it this way. I will not state what hospital he's in. There's only so many of them. And just because they said that at 6 a.m. this morning doesn't mean that wasn't the night shift that didn't have any sleep. They verified his information, and they said when visiting hours were. They did not announce that he was expired.
Well, the fact that they said
They gave, yeah, correct. Well, they're going to let anybody in no matter what his state is. So I just want to get off of that subject real quick. So that means, yes, yeah. But I think they would let anybody, hate to say it, it is the Philippines, and most hospitals would let people in. It's not the U.S. where they set up them locked doors and locked doors and locked doors, babe. Let's just say, well, I don't want to say what location he's in.
they do have
a form of security, yes, but it's not like the U.S. where you get locked out of certain wards.
No, you do.
Still, you sure?
Yes.
One
Still
second.
exists.
I know. Here, one second. All right, yeah, I was just saying the location.
Can't get Social Security if you have not lived in the USA for 5 years, correct?
Correct. The baby will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus, he's effing broken, leaving Jen with a sidecar to raise. Here's the thing. A bunch of guys over there already are sitting around talking, and there are already guys outside the U.S. helping her. So there'll be somebody. They're saying, really, and I do as a woman because she's stuck with the baby. But, I'm going to keep it real on this, and I'm going to run my trap as about as legally and as much to respect the vloggers that asked me not to say anything and his family. Jen put herself in that situation too. We said all that. She's marrying a guy that I have the stats. They married in 2021. So they've been married exactly. That was their third anniversary. They met 4 years ago. The baby will be a year old sometime. I think he's at 10 months old right now. So Jen knew all this. I hate to say it. If I'd totally hooked up younger with that Canadian guy that has all the money, and then he croaked, well, at least he had the money in the football team. But the whole point is I would know to expect to lose the father of my kid. I'm sure she's prepared. This is something that's not uncommon here with the older
Well,
and
now,
younger, age gap. But he also was not exactly the most financially stable, mentally stable, and health stable, which kind of, what? You're looking at me right now, guys. So it's kind of like when I look at Mark, it's like a lot of guys are in the same boat. We're not healthy exactly. Most people aren't.
well, and
And
she's an adult,
financially,
guys.
never said we were.
She's an
And
adult.
no, that's what I'm saying. But she knew what she was dealing with, and Mark's shit
She
was
signed up for
already
it.
right.
That's, yes.
A lot of the expats are dealing with that. And the one channel you're going to hear it from is here. They're mentally, financially, and, and it doesn't change when you get here. Like a lot of the guys have really bad problems. He knew all of that when he actually arrived. Can you do me a favor and separate that so the arrow come through real quick? It's kind of being stopped here. Thanks, babe. So, but that's where I also turn and say, okay, but my rent is cheap, and we get to hang with George's family, and
Well, and like I said, she signed up for it. Let's not, go into, oh, mark this, mark. Well, yeah,
correct.
but she opened her legs too.
Ooh,
I mean,
because I was like,
in
and
all
I was
fairness,
like,
I mean,
poor Jen, and I'm like, I really do feel bad for Mark, and we do. Legitly, our prayers are with the family. I want to let you
yes.
know this is a discussion. No matter how things go or pop off, he's still a person, and he did a lot of people dirty. And on the Dexter thing, that was really, really crazy. And by the way, I just want to say on the side note that an update on that, Bings really has nothing to do with this, but doesn't. There was already a preliminary, and the weird part is it's postponed into January. Will he be able to appear? And also, everybody was all lawyered up, and I don't think financially he's going to be able to, or he's actually, in other words, Dexter, they're saying, is the one that's going to get compensated. But Mark doesn't have that kind of money to repay or pay the fines or reimburse for the attorney. So they would have to start liquidating assets, guys. So whatever that would be, maybe it's baby Thornton. I don't know.
What?
What?
Wow. First you have steering baby. Now you're gonna liquidate baby Thornton. Wow.
I'm talking about like they can make like a mold of them and stuff, or who knows?
Mold the baby.
Mold the baby.
Okay. So
So that's an update. They did go to court. Things weren't looking good. So we put together that he's been on the stress side, and he went to court, and he's on this ceremonial phycochinese hormone therapy stuff, which probably wrecked and racked his heart.
aw,
And all these different things that are going on, and now
be
he's
careful, yeah.
yeah. So now him and his wife, I'm sure she's there taking care of him, because here you have to actually go in. So I'm sure she's there all the time, just someone to understand he's not a lot of visitors, and then you have to actually wait to see how things go.
Yeah.
It's addictive. What's his name said? The channel surprisingly addictive. Yeah, so is those donuts.
Well, I'm eating one because Laura says life is short, eat a donut.
Pretty much. What we got going
They're actually really good. This Mr. Donut, because we don't have a Dunkin'. There is a Dunkin' Donut, but honestly, I didn't have
What's in
time to
it?
drive to Dunkin' Donut. It's a little bit further. I got it for you.
Uh-huh.
I did.
I was really going to feel bad about eating these because of Mark, and he went through that whole speech.
Why would you still?
Yeah, I know that.
Mark will always.
But
be
I'm
Mark.
not going to sit here and do that whole thing. Got to do this and got to do that, because you guys are already doing what you're going to do. And then your asses are smoking and drinking and not wrapping them willies. And and drinking out of truck drivers' glasses when you guys are tag-a-tie, tag-a-ray, tag-a-tea, whatever, and sitting out there drinking with all them Filipinos that got God knows what. Sorry.
Yeah. Washburn says only the good die young. Oh my gosh, Billy Joel. Only the good die young.
Mhm.
There's this guy at
Well,
the
he
mall
made that
yesterday.
quote. That was just 2 weeks ago. He made that
Yeah.
quote.
No, that guy. Remember that guy playing the piano?
These are really good.
Yes, they are.
And we were looking into Dunkin' Donut and the other one, and a dozen, 6 Christmas donuts and 6 glaze. It was like $13 US. And I said, I got to pass. Not in the Philippines. So then George went and got these.
White Samurai says George is back. Make George great again. Yes, build that wall.
We're going to build something later. These are really good. Here, try this. There's white cream all over it.
So it's a strawberry Boston cream kind of deal.
No, there's no real strawberry. It's just Boston cream.
That's why I said it's.
And it's half the price. I love those Filipinos sometimes. I'm
Sheila,
sorry.
yeah.
If you don't like what I say,
Sheila sold them to
bug
me.
off. Because
No, I'm not making up that name. It really was Sheila.
and you know what I was going to say, until the doctor takes me off my steroids, which is probably never really ever going to happen. But even if they do, it's still going to be me.
Yeah. She was really happy when I bought the donuts and I gave her a tip. I slipped her the tip. Here, keep the tip.
Mm.
True story.
Mm-hmm.
No, Heidi was there. She was, but anyway.
I told him that. I showed him. We were talking about that earlier, and I was like, it looked big. I got robbed on that. Angle my butt.
George Burns lived longer than Lalaine.
Mm-hmm.
Both made it very old.
No, some of them, I'm sorry. It's like, and now, especially with my medical conditions, I tried that. I did it again, right? For like 2 years, I was a vegan. Now, when I seen that big guy that Mark Thornton interviewed and I joked, I said it's because I'm a big person. I've heard everything. And if he can't take a joke, F him, right? Because he put himself on air. People are going to talk. He should have thought about that. If he's sensitive, again, bite me, guy. You're a big guy. Either do something about it or don't worry about it. I'm sure the guy has tried to lose weight. I've tried. I've been through all these different things. Things work, things don't, things change over the years, and there are medical conditions. And so I'm not going to make excuses. I like sugar. I'm like a 2-year-old kid. Ask George. I've had
I
ice
like
cream.
food.
George eats. I'm serious. You guys think I'm joking. You guys have seen him eat. The other day when we went to that restaurant, I had like one piece of pizza, a little bit of ribs, and something else, some of the fries, and that was it. I was wiped out. But I like sugar, so that's what happens. But anyways, you can only do so much. We say enjoy yourself, but there is a limit. Like, that's probably all the sugar I'm going to have so I don't end up sick later. And you do have to balance it with things. You should take your maintenance medication. You still want to do, you can't sit there and do that and the pizza and drink soda. Now, George will drink a bunch of soda later.
That's one of my weaknesses.
He'll drink a bunch of his Gator or that. Yeah, that's bad. That's foolish. That's really a lot of sugar, dude. So
This has been sitting in the fridge for what? How long now?
right, because I don't drink this.
2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. So we don't always, but you have to do something. There has to be a balance.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys are just, and then you add in if they're like 50, 60, anything after the age of 40, and you guys are like Sunshine said, are you healthy enough to have, love time? Some of these guys are not. You guys think that's a joke.
Well, that's where I was getting at too, because guys, before you pick on anybody else, think about it. Would you rather have the guy not have any sex at all versus a lot of sex? Would you rather have the guy eat a lot of food or no food at all?
Well, that's what I said. They're either smoking, drinking, a lot of food, no food. There's something going on. And for those that are judging everybody, including me, that other guy that was on Mark Thornton's last interview, or George, or
I mean, if the guy's sitting in the corner
there's
begging because he has
something.
no food,
everybody
rails on him.
Now,
but if somebody's like,
let me do it's time for a sponsor thing.
Oh no.
On the other hand, if you guys are a certain age, there's a few things. If you guys, for those that are listening, there are a few options. First off, before you come to the Philippines, and some renew it, there is travel insurance. But once you guys start getting your SRRV and you're a permanent resident and you're no longer in that category, some insurances don't work. You could possibly get a short-term policy. Understand, short-term policies you have to usually pay up front. You won't see that money back for a while. So you still have to have money in the bank. Some do pay directly out, and we highly, highly believe in Michael Onstad. He's helped so many
For
of
all
our
your
people.
insurance needs.
We always keep his number in there because the reason we do this channel is so you guys will learn something.
Educate.
Correct. I was telling him, I said, you guys think that $300 is going to wreck my disability Social Security? We do it because, one, we do usually have fun until George walks out or until things go south. But we do. We like doing the channel. It is work. But mostly we're doing it all to make sure if even one person listens to this and say, yeah, I better get insurance, or let me get something done for my wife today. I'd be going through with your spouse. What's wrong? And doing things. You guys need to set things up because some of these spouses aren't set up. But Michael Onstad, back to Michael Onstad. He has a Facebook group. You just have to look him up on Facebook. He can set you up with different policies. I know he knows about PhilHealth. There's all of these things, and you definitely want to get something set up.
Oh, still a lot of money.
What's that? No, I figured he's about 60, 70,000 US right now.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to interrupt you.
No, so
No,
there's a lot, but you guys should consider all the above. And most of us, okay, that don't have savings or doesn't have insurance, and there's somewhere in between like us, like I still have everything in the US, that there's a good chance on certain months I can't even go back because of my health issues. Then you're stuck here. Well, at least Michael Onstad could get you on a program now that if something like that happens, you can get fixed up and then he can get you to the US. He helps people a lot. He does have meetups in Angel City. We're hoping to see him on the next trip. And it is a lot. But some guys just won't deal with it. And I believe Mark was one of them, where he just did this, and that. And I don't even know if he has actually still his Medicare and all that through Social Security back in the US. Some of the guys cancel that, so I can't say that either. But so much going on, guys.
Okay, now John Ryder says hospital fees are cheap in the Philippines. They are, but
not. Here's the thing. There was a full discussion about MRIs, and I know they're more expensive in the US, but when you're retired and you have a limited check and say 20, 30,000 in the bank, and you're limited on money like we are, if you start getting hit all the time with 400 here, 300 here, 400 there, it goes quick. And when we came here, we started with nothing. So we started getting things like, beds for the rooms. We started getting furniture and dishes. And now we have all these cabinets. And then, all these things have been purchased over time. We used a lot in deposits and travel and plane tickets getting here and started burning through our money really quick. So I digress. But an MRI could be anywhere between $300 and $500 at Clark Medical Center. And in saying that, the equipment's not exactly the newest. Now, you do have options to go to other countries. I believe Bangkok is one of them. They say
I was going to say yes.
And that's where the guys have been going. And they say they have excellent, a lot of people like living over there in Thailand. And if we didn't have to worry about double this and the language barrier, like on the immigration, it would probably be somewhere we would considering the infrastructure. Because some guy I just seen, he lives in a place that almost looks like a palace. It's like an apartment place. It's almost like a retirement center looking place. It's got a gym. It's got a courtyard. This place is beautiful. And he's got this oversized apartment, including electricity, internet, and it's even got a phone hooked up inside. He pays $300 a month. And I'm like, holy snikes. Yeah, that's not what we pay, even with cheap rent. Yes, things are cheap, but the infrastructure was beautiful. I mean, balcony, everything else. And I'm like, oh, and they got decent medical. You guys just have to decide where you're going to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, actually, going back to the hospital thing, just real quick. Keep in mind that's the 3.5 million pesos I said is average. I'm not saying that's what he's paying or will pay. I'm not saying that by any means because it can go higher. Considering where he's currently his current location, it'll be lower. However, as White Samurai says, I resent the skin tax as the hospital. There's somewhat truth to that, but
No. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Sorry, I cut you off there, babe. The skin tax can be a real thing, but here's the thing. The one thing, unlike the US, like if you have insurance in the US, they'll bill you $30 for an aspirin, and you'll just miraculously get this $300,000 bill. It's determined with the insurance, then you get a bill in the end. Here, usually it's set up front what you're going to pay. And that's fine. What you guys have to worry about here is them running just them stupid tests like they do in the
thank you.
US.
I was gonna
And
say that.
I told
Yes.
George, I said, I'm going to come up out of that bed and got something to
That's
say.
how they do it. They do a necessary barrage of tests on you.
Right. And I believe, like, I've been hearing a few of the guys say, well, I'm going in just for this test to check on that. And there's nothing wrong with basic maintenance. I would just watch how much you're doing because they add all these extra things. And I believe once they start prodding around, giving you extra medication, all that, some people become sicker. Now, truly, since I've left Western medicine, me and George was discussing that. I was on a bunch of pills in the US. I did seem to get better.
Oh, why am I calling? There's nothing on my screen.
That's weird.
There's nothing.
There must be something on our phones. It's kind of like
See?
that thing. No, it just called me. That's twice today.
Yeah, I'm not on the phone.
That is weird.
I'm holding the phone, but I'm not on the phone.
No, something. But yeah. So you just have to. It's
again,
really
be careful with that. They do have tend
the
to run
Western
tests
medicine, like Mark
on
said.
you that you don't need.
Mark said, which is true. A lot of guys go off a part of their medication. Their wives start cooking. Their girlfriends start cooking. They tend to go to the market. In some areas, markets are way better than the other. And some guys do change their lives and get off of some of the medications. I'm not going to deny that. And same here. They seem to put me on more stuff and misdiagnosing and all that. Now, can they do that here? Yes. But I would just get up front or limit what they're doing or get a second opinion. And I think they do know they're expats. And some hospitals are just astronomical. You have to be careful because, like certain ones here in Angeles and Mabalaca, if you go in there, they'll just gouge you. And so they actually put that in the descriptions, and people have said so. And so it's a lot to think about. So you just have to think about everything before you come over, but most people don't.
Yeah.
About my biggest disappointment is your girlfriend doesn't come over and clean and stuff.
Right. White Samurai says donate the body to Science is Free. Laura
That's
says
a possibility. That's
now,
what I know. Mark joked about that, and I have too. And I told George that, but I've also told you guys separately that I'm sure George's family or his brother or people will come through and help pay a bill. But it's not my intention. I'm sure it's not Mark's intention. But he might have been serious. I kind of am a little serious about leaving me there or donate to science, but I don't know. Would you really actually do that? I know you're in front of people. I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you actually consider leaving me there if you're broke at the time?
well, we can have like it tattooed right here. Donate this bitch to science.
You leave my dog out of this, and I almost said a certain family member, but I'm going to leave that out of it too.
Actually, this is really expensive. Laura says they now have organic burials turning people into yes, but
Yeah.
it's extra, really. I mean, I've seen the science
That
suit
would
and
be
everything.
nice. Did you see those new Google glasses? You didn't see it on Facebook. I'll have to show it to you.
Which one?
I'll show it to you later. It's incredible. They're showing the future. I think they actually exist, but I think it's what's up and coming in the next few years, and they've already got some of them that are out. But basically, they call them. I'll have to think of the word. I think they call them space logic. Basically, everything is going to be in the 3D. So when you're watching a baseball game, it's going to show a field out in front of you of the real field, and it's going to tell you what each move is for people. Like football, I understand most everything, but it's going to start telling you things. If we go to Thailand, the glasses will tell you when you look at the Thai menu what it is. It translates them.
No, I mean,
And so it's like having the VR with everything. But remember, I told you the new generation of Google that's come out on the Bard or the Gemini or whatever, and everything that's up and
I
coming.
figured that's what they did.
It
They
will
have
then
AI incorporated.
right. So now it's when the guy speaks, the glasses automatically translate. And
Well,
there's
that's
earpieces,
that
everything.
that already exists, babe. I'm talking about the translating and everything.
Well, I have to.
The AI incorporated is the new.
You'll have to see it. You'll have to determine.
No,
I
no,
don't think
I'm
it's
aware.
out yet. I think it's their vision with the new company they're with. I didn't get. It's like a 1 hour
No,
thing.
no. Google Glasses existed. I actually thought about purchasing them before I met you.
This is a different level.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said which one.
Everything.
That's
It does
what I'm
everything.
saying. But the translation and everything, that's always been there.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, these are like way out there. Like the woman went to go hang shelves up, and she asked how, and it went step to step, told her how to measure, and check this out. This is what you need. It said, well, where's my measuring tape? And then Gemini responded, I seen your measuring tape by the couch this morning.
Well, technically, with Google Glasses, the new generation, you don't need a measuring tape. Technically.
Yeah, I got you. The whole point is it was freaking me out. And I know technology, and it just, I was like, I don't think it's fully, I think they're still working on it, but it could be that it really exists, or, but I'm like, well, I could always run a GoFundMe to get me a pair. Them glasses are $78,000. I would just run a GoFundMe.
Well, it probably does
Property
exist, but that's on a portable level. That's a different story.
Yeah, I'll have to show you. They're portable. I'll
No,
just show
babe,
it.
I'm aware. I mean, saying,
George on Joe Rogan, huh?
yeah. We need
Hey,
George
did
on
you
Joe
say, hey,
Rogan.
Vets Vlog?
Yeah, Vets Vlog says,
Hi.
don't forget to subscribe. Let's push our awesome friends channel to the moon. Subscribe. Thanks so much, Vets
Actually,
Vlogs.
we're about wherever we're actually going to be. We appreciate that. On the channel, we've been doing it for a few years, and it's, we were just talking about that one guy over in Japan that lost 8,000 subscribers overnight. He said about broke him down. He was ready to quit, which we know it's clickbait and all that, but he was, and it's something that happened to us in the beginning. The first 6 months we had the YouTube channel, we were way up there. By a bunch of things drop off around
that guy.
December, yeah. And it drops off, and that's because they purge accounts that are not being used, or they legitly weren't real subscribers, and all these things start happening. And when we got to the Philippines in 2020, 2021, yeah, because it'll be 4 years in July, and we were like at 3,000 subscribers or something. We had lost. We was almost up to 9 or 10. But what happened is when we got here in the beginning, they allowed you to turn your numbers off so people couldn't see your numbers. And everybody did partially assume before there were 500,000 vloggers, and we were doing a lot more expat help, that we were way higher up there. They forced everybody to flip their numbers on. We weren't the only ones that kept our numbers off, because we didn't want people to watch us based on, hey, I've got 40,000 subscribers, because this truly does not push your channel. It's based, as you guys know, on views and comments, and
It's more of a psychological thing.
it's a psychological thing. Honestly, I wish they would take the numbers away, because I'm not even going to get into that today. So, but yeah, so no, we appreciate it, and we're really proud of the channel. And yes, LG, if you're still in the house, it's evidently quite evident that we both run this channel, whether I say it's his or whether he's not returning or anything else. We started the channel together. What I've been pushing and telling you guys, only one person can get paid. So a few trolls back in the day, and I'm going to say it and you can wave all you want, used to say, oh, well, we're going to report you to Social Security. Sorry, guys. You can't pay both of us, and I'm allowed to have X amount of income anyways. I'm not on welfare Social Security. It's earned. So, and do I do work? Yes, but it's not a full-time job. It's the rest of my life that's full-time here. The pets, the house, the cooking, the laundry, the out and about, that take up my time. but it is still, you know. George is scrolling through here. Yeah, I forgot to write that down. What I call it? Hey, it'll be like the Rib Bone song. Rib Bone, Rib Bone. We're going to call it Wet Express.
Yeah. John Ryder says that. I was praying George didn't come back.
Should we play the song anyway? Oh,
No.
Wet Express and Staring Babies. We'll do an opera or something. Staring Rogan? No, we can't do that. Yeah.
John Ryder says he's in the white ward.
If you guys look in our channel, we have a few other small channels. We don't have them all listed, but the ones that are linked to Philippine Antics Direct are in there. So we have the pet channel, and then we have the sound channel for like cock blocker. Like if there's a rooster crowing and all this, it's the noise stuff that you can play, or the sounds for sleep or work. And we have music stuff, but we have the music video channel. So that's Antics World Studio. And there's a bunch of new songs in there. So we put some of our stuff, but we did create one based on this situation, and we just can't play it here.
Yeah, because it's cock blocking.
No, the cock blocker is actually real. It's rooster choker. Anyways, it just stops the sound from coming through.
Will Smith says, doesn't he have some assets like life insurance? What about savings from his YouTube? Surely he has some plan for them. He wasn't going to outlive them, obviously, whatever happened.
No, when he came here, he admitted he was broke. There is no backup insurances. Everything he had was pretty much, he's told his story several times. Now, unless he's not saying, maybe he has something set up, but it's hard saying. It'd be nice if he did. Now, I do want to address Sunshine. The Beanie Babies. You're right, chosen one. I do want to address, I did think it was a little out there, and I love you, Calvin, and a few people left comments on Calvin's channel about this. He did a short. I don't know if that was recently or he did it a few months ago. He said the average YouTuber that's making money is $68,000 a year. That would be nice. How is the average paid YouTuber making $68,000 from AdSense? He talked about how many YouTubers were getting AdSense and making money from YouTube, and I was like, that is a lot of money. Only a percentage get monetized or get really any money, even if it is sponsorship. Then your numbers have to meet it. And somebody came in, they're like, Calvin, that can't be. And so those that get AdSense, the one guy was like, man, I'm only making like $30 a month. And somebody else said they made $700 or $800. There's not as much money in YouTubing as people think. Unless you're really, them big channels are making money. Now, does the Filipina P make money? Yes, but I'm guaranteeing she's making $5,000 or $6,000 US from her Patreon, people sending her money.
Not YouTube.
It's the side hustle for some of these vloggers. But as far as the average ones like us, if we throw everything in a pot together on a good month, it's about 300. That's why I always say the whole thing's about 300 a month. And I just had our specs a little bit ago. And we had a good year.
Let's be realistic here again. Like Salem says, Beanie Baby liquidation. Let's be realistic.
Oh no.
Nobody's fooling anybody here. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about Heidi. Unless you're hot and possibly might be single, you're not going to get money as a side hustle either. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I get YouTube doesn't pay, but some of you are going, well, you get money from Patreon. Yeah, but guess what? Even that is not going to be the same as, again, she's hot. Oh, maybe she'll be my girlfriend, that kind of deal.
Right.
Unless that's
or like us. Nobody likes my honest loud mouth of living here as an American expat, George bringing sand to the beach. And I used to complain about, well, I'm not here in a bikini and I can't do this.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a little bit of animosity until I learned that me being the mouth of the South, or just saying things, actually was helping people. It can be entertaining. George can be entertaining. We play off of each other. We're kind of original. We are original. I don't think there's any American expat woman and a Filipino that lived in the U.S. that long that has, knowledge of the Philippines, that does comedy Ann does the expat thing and deals in our thing, and we're the only one at Google. We are the only one that's been invited to
You're the
Google.
only expat there.
I was the only expat there. So.
Now, some of you will be asking, like, okay,
but no, he's not making any money. A
no,
lot
he's
of the
not.
views,
Not
including
not the way people
Calvin
think.
and the Filipina P, it's probably 60-70% Americans like ours. It could be way less. The longer you're here, the numbers dwindle, and the Filipinos start watching, and other Asians, and you get pennies on the dollar compared to that.
Right.
So it's anywhere between $3 per 1,000 views up to 20 or so. And then it just depends anything. And then remember, YouTube gets, and I'm not looking at it, 30%. There's
Yeah.
a percentage. And then if you're doing it legally, like I know the P is, and we are, then there's taxes. Then we pay a tax man. And by the time we pay the apps, the lights, and all the extras during the couple live streams a week, I think we're down to, I don't know, not very much, $100 or something after
Right.
everything.
And
so I doubt Mark's making that much. I think we discussed that
well,
the other day.
it's real
probably
simple,
like
guys.
1,000 a
Again,
month.
again, there's no, unless they're liars, honestly, or unless you're cool offs or something like that, you're not gonna make money off of YouTube. Okay, let's not fool ourselves.
If we'd have greased the wheels a long time ago
Yeah,
and
second
put on
off-
a show, we probably would have made more money.
Right.
But it's
And then
that's a
second,
disservice.
second off, again, how do you know they're not making side money? It's real simple equation. You don't have to go
There's no
far.
way to
Okay,
make 30.
I'm not gonna make money on the side, and Heidi's not gonna make money on the side. How can you tell that you are not gonna make money on the side? It's simple. In the West, what country you're in, whether you're in Australia, England, or US, ask yourself this: is somebody gonna be my sugar daddy here, or is somebody gonna be my sugar mommy here? AKA, if you're in the US, is there gonna be an American who's gonna be your sugar mom or a sugar daddy? If the answer is no, odds are you're not gonna get any money when you come here and be a YouTuber on the side. It's that simple. Now, for example, again, not picking on anybody. For example, Filipino P, Maya, that kind of deal. Just look at them. Well, if they move to the U.S., will there be people willing to be their sugar daddies? Yes. So that means yes, they're gonna get money on the side. It's simple human equation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah, it shows this year. I was just looking at our numbers. They gave a wrap up. I sent it to George earlier, but we've been in YouTube for 4 years, and it goes through and it talks about our numbers. This year, we have gotten 11,000 subscribers in this past year. Also, we've had almost 750,000 views in 1 year from people. And then it says we uploaded 368 videos, almost 30,000 people. It shows who did the likes. Of course, we get dislikes. We've had almost 6,000 comments over the years, and our videos were shared over 2,000 times. That is only on YouTube and only on this channel. Okay. So we have our TikTok, which we don't do a whole lot of anymore. But if you put all of our views, my guess is we've had millions of views between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. So once you're in social media, you're in there, and we still make that money. No money's being made on. We have 20,000 on TikTok, and we once this year, I think we received $50 from Facebook. We thought it was a scam. I was like, okay, we made money, but it just depends on what you do. But I think the problem is it's flooded out. So this 68,000 a year kind of blew my mind. Now, again, that could be that I didn't understand that he was talking about other things, like they were making money from T-shirts but he said that YouTube paid out, and I'm like, there's no way. But that could be what. Now maybe he's making 68. That's a possibility. Now there'd be no doubt in my mind, but doesn't that mean he'd have to make what, 5,000 a month? Because 5 times, 10 months is 50. So yes, that's an indication of $5,000 a month. It is possible with his stickers and his live streams. He's making $5,000 a month. So that would not surprise me, but not for the average person. So that is for sure.
So it's about the same. Big Dave says, $17.50 for a dozen Dunkin' Donuts. So
Okay.
about the same.
Yeah, here things are just a little cheaper. So at $13 and at 17, we always say things are slightly cheaper here. The only thing that blows my mind is in my mind now, I'm stuck on Filipino pesos. So it sure seemed like a. No, that she's just having another dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just stuck in the Filipino peso. So it just seems. But I do like the Mr. Donuts, and they're
Hey Curtis, how you doing?
Hey.
White Samurai says sugar is poison. You're slowly poisoning. Yes, unfortunately, that is one of my weaknesses.
Right. And I could clearly ask, like we were saying earlier, I assume you don't drink, smoke, you have no habits, you filter all your water, you don't drink soda, you don't fly any airplanes or cause any pollution or sit in traffic, or you live in a good city. I could go on for days about what could make your life better. But at this point, I'm brutally honest, I'm 50 and I have no other vices except for the balance of when I'm going to eat like that. I ate the small donut and the bigger one today. I probably won't eat till later today. Usually in December, we do eat more junk. You guys have seen that. So we're going to pick up a pizza today and we're going to chill with movies. That was our plan. When you went out, I said, I bet I don't even see him. I bet he stays away at his family's house all day. And I said, there goes our plans about pizza and everything. And here you are. Now I still got to go get that pizza.
There you go.
Dang it. But no, it's, and those that are saying it's lying. And on top of that, there are a lot of guys that are coming here that make things even worse besides their drinking and their smoking. And I get that it's like it looks like I'm blaming, oh, well, this person this and you're just this and that. But nobody is perfect and you can only do the best you can. It's a matter of balance. Some of these guys ain't got no breaks either. So they're eating all this junk and all this greasy and salty and sugary food. They're drinking, they're smoking 100%. Then they're taking these blue pills that cause heart issues, and then they're turning around and they're not wrapping anything and they're risking this. No, there's all kinds of things that they're actually doing. And then they want to say, look at Heidi, she's eating all this junk food and look at her, she's overweight and all that. It's like, yeah, okay, that's the only issue I have right now. So it's, there's got to be a balance. And I don't know how many people have said, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And that's fine if that's what people want to do. In the end, like Mark, it was a roll of the dice and our mortality is there. It doesn't matter. He's a fellow American, fellow YouTuber, no matter what kind of jerk he's been. And what he did to Dexter was, to me, I still say that was wrong. I get angry too. I want to slap George all the time. I'm telling you. It's just some things you just can't do if you don't want to end up in trouble. And it looks like he put himself in some serious problems at this point legally. Here's the thing. Will he make it to court? I mean, surely, I hate to say it, his family has to know. I just got a message from somebody saying, what's the deal? Does his family not know? And I get it. Still, I'm trying to give a level of respect. It just kind of set me off a little bit this morning. And I want to, show all of that respect, and we get it. But he does have other kids. So, but it's, it's surely they know he's already there. And if they haven't told him, that's definitely
I would hope they would know
that we're just not staying.
I mean,
like I said, we'll make $10 for this video. It's not about making the money. It's about using him as an example, like somebody would use me to say, hey, get some insurance and get your act together. Take care of your woman and don't do this and do this, has gotten shut down immediately because of the family. And I'm sure even possibly the people who told us that this morning are like, that's not what I meant. It's just a respect thing. No, we want to respect him. But we covered Elliot Eastman every which way but south as an example.
Well, okay. Now, what I'm saying is his family should know by now. And keyword is should.
The status is what I think.
Now, do they? I don't know. And the reason why I say that, they should know. Why? Well, first off, Mark is married. She is there. It is her duty to inform them because her spouse may or may not be incapacitated. So she should at least say, hey, if Mark is in dire straits, doesn't matter whether he's in the hospital or he's in prison, that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is if by chance something happens
That's
to
funny,
me,
Will. No, of course,
then of course Heidi has to inform my family about it, and vice versa. If something happens to Heidi,
And I guess I would
that's what I'm
ask,
saying.
because we're sure during this YouTubing that something could happen to me. And I know people are going to say, hey, Heidi's in the hospital. She's broke. They can't this, and that. You know what? Me and George have discussed this. Go ahead and put it out. It makes sense. I would want people to learn, hey, if you guys are going to go on a diet and change your life because of me, then so be it.
Well,
But maybe it's the status situation.
what I'm
is the
saying
biggest.
is they shouldn't know from YouTube. I'm talking about the family. They shouldn't know from YouTube. There's no reason for them
Well, I
to
thought about that. And
know
again,
from
no
YouTube.
disrespect from
Somebody
Paul or
on
the
Mark's
group.
side should have contacted them already and ongoing updates.
Well, I was actually, and again, sorry, I was wondering why his kids would be looking up expat stuff and looking for their dad's name all of a sudden too. As I'm to understand,
Well,
these are
that's why I
adult
said it
kids.
shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't.
But we get it, like the Elliot
Yeah.
Eastman thing. It didn't stop the world from covering it or us covering it. There was always something, interesting or dealing with the expat or what not to do. And there is on this one. I just wanted to be able to put everything out. So it's which pretty much we already have, plus an extra fight on top of it and drama and our own personal life. But it's just where it is. This is officially a live stream. And technically, I'm still trying to figure out the difference between, I know what a podcast is. I know it goes on other places, but they're doing them on air where they can be seen. To me, it's a live stream and just being podcasted. But the whole thing is it's being done all the time. Different topics are coming up. Things are being said. And if you don't have AdSense and these guys have sponsors, I do notice the difference in what they're allowed to say and what we are. And it does and doesn't have anything to do with like whether we're going to get paid or whatever. We could still get hit by YouTube just for certain things. But being their numbers are so big and they bring in so much money, I think they get the, what do you call that? Kind of like when CNN is on
free
YouTube.
passes. Yeah,
There's
they get
free passes for certain. And of course, it's not, because believe me, there's still things I'd like to
bottom
say,
line,
do,
what
or-
Heidi's saying is doesn't mean that other people did it. Doesn't mean you can get away with it.
So I wish there was a lot more we could. Right now, as a fellow American, is why I'm still trying to, because there was going to be more jokes and more gloom and doom and all this other stuff to go along with it, because it's
There's still politics in YouTube. It's kind of like when the mayor, puts on the gas pedal and then he overspeeds. If the cops know it's the mayor, they let him go. Reality. Here's the reality. Oh, that's the mayor's car.
Well, yeah, it's like if the rest of the
Same
group
thing
over
with
there,
YouTube.
yeah, if the rest of the group, for the ones that play properly, and the ones that are actually monetized, have what do you call that, influence, there is an original group, and we're partially in that. Like Paul's been in the game, I think 6 years. We've been in the game 4. And now you have guys that have lived here, but they just started their channel, or some just came here and started their channel. But there's still not quite a hierarchy, but there is you still want a form of respect. If I pass away, I would still expect that group over there to say, hey, George, do you mind if we cover George? Of course, I say, go ahead. At least they're asking. And I did ask Paul, and I did ask some other people, and I get it. And then, of course, they heard you say, well, you're mad because of Paul. No, I'm not upset about Paul saying it. It's because I spent today and yesterday and got up extra early to get footage or to be able to prepare and find these things out. Has most of it come out? Yes, but we haven't gone into his full status, what his medical condition is, nor will others that really know 100% what's going on or what we know to come out. So I'm just trying to respect Paul and the guys that won't cover it, because a bunch of them won't even talk about it right now. And they covered other things about him in the past. But I get it. But I'm sorry, it's still one of those, you can't stop this train. It's still, we get it. But again, we didn't stop it for the poor kid out there that still might be alive. I mean, crap, they said Elliot might still be alive situation. And then I was like, well, I just don't want to sit around and talk about medical. It's going to be a live stream that's literally going to be like a man without a blue pill. be like that today on the live stream. Nobody wants to talk about medical and burial and building a house in advance for their wife's situation and all these things and prepping and all that. Then I'm like, can I talk about World Zoom today? And George says, oh, let's just talk about medical. I'm like, I said, I spent 2 days on this thing. So, and then I get ice cream, and then George left me, and he really did. He said, that's it. He quit. That was it. Gone.
I didn't say I quit.
I said, if you leave and you get in that car and you take off one more time, I said, there's no more YouTube. So when you drove
But
away,
that still doesn't mean I quit.
yeah, but you drove away when I said.
Doesn't matter what you say.
I was just doing some clickbait, I guess.
Laura says health insurance is for those who do not want to be blindsided by astronomical medical debt.
Well, the thing is on the insurance, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is the you got to be able to afford it, and most guys already have pre-existing conditions. So right now, even if George got insured and before my lupus, and if I was as of weight, I keep hearing the guys are paying several hundred US dollars a month or X amount per year. They may not even use it for 10, 15, 20 years. So these are things why guys delay in getting it or not getting it, or they think they're invincible, but it's not always the cheapest either. You have to fully go through and sit down with an agent to get a real price. Our Philippine Journey did that recently, and I know that he was talking about how expensive it is, and he's actually got what I would call a really good income. According, he actually said that he's got X amount of savings, and well, he didn't say how much. What I'm saying is our Philippine Journey has done very well at his planning. And so that's a good thing. But even then, there's still a limit to somebody paying, say, $700 a month because of a pre-existing condition. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep my $700 a month, and I'm going to eat pizza until my eyes puke.
Well, I mean, the problem with insurance is, again,
I don't want to be responsible anymore.
Well, no, it's not that. I mean, again, you
have to prepay some of them. Like you have to pay the bills in advance, and you had to have the savings to begin with. And let's be real, most of you guys don't have it. And most of the people that have been watching our channel is what we would call blue collar, or people on a small pension plus Social Security or savings like we are, and the Social Security with an up and coming Social Security check and a little side income from his job. It's, we're not like making $100,000 a year. We just don't have that kind of money. Well, it's the same thing people are faced with in the U.S. right now. I better get this mic in. I keep pushing the mic.
Well, let's not kid ourselves. Let's talk about insurance real quick. Let's talk about reality in insurance. Okay. First off, unless you're unlucky, you probably never had to use insurance. Have I had health insurance in the U.S.? Yes, I've had health insurance for years and years and years, decades. Okay, 2 decades and a half. Paid for health insurance. Was it ever used? No. Now, a lot of us, up to this day, probably never used health insurance. Even we paid for it. And what I'm saying is, that gets stuck in your head even at our later years. Yeah, now, should we have insurance at our later years? Yes. However, we've been ingrained that we've never used it in our earlier years.
Especially the men. We know that some plan properly. We talk about there's a percentage of men that do proper retirement. According to the basic statistics, most Americans are screwed right now on retirement money, being able to live properly. And a lot of them will end up on Social Security. And over there in the U.S., it's really hard to survive on that. And most of them don't have savings. And they're hoping the economy will turn around. Most guys that move over here, as you see, there's tons of YouTube channels. We see it in person. Their lives fall apart. Yeah. They don't have the savings. They don't have the insurance. They don't have any planning. They don't have any life skills. They don't have any women's skills. They don't have nothing. A lot of them just drink, eat junk food. They do all these other things unhealthy. And I get it. We continue to to actually live a life over here. But the insurance part of it is really scary, because when they get up there in age, like, and I know that people are saying that with me being 53, that's not really old, but you do start looking at every single thing. I know that I know my own medical conditions. You try to, do your maintenance and take care of things. But we already discussed this. There's the probability of me having anything, and that's the probability that I think Mark was up against, except for he's almost 70. He's 16 years older than me with already heart issues that didn't he have the triple bypass at some point, or
I
so
believe
he's already
so.
had all these. Me, I currently can't see wiping out most of our. It's just going to cost a lot to insure both of us. So we think about this. So we set money aside every month. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. We probably would have to get a loan or use credit cards if something seriously came up. And you calculate that $600 a month, $7,000 a year. It could be 10, 15 years before anything serious happens. Or we may be relying on going back to the US. Everybody will be different. Oh, he canceled Part B. Isn't Part B the supplement, or I'll have to look that up. I know I kept both for reasons. I know that some of the guys are misinformed that they can keep that supplement that makes it super low income, and anything outside the US after 90 days is against the rules. But I don't know about the Part A, Part B. I know at one point I covered this and had it all written down. It's been a while since we've covered that. But you have to watch, which one is it that you have to repay back to get it turned back on? Is that Part B or the Part A?
Part B, I thought.
Okay. Well, remember the supplement
Part
you're not
B.
entitled to either. So it is a dangerous game. And a lot of the guys that lose the supplement go back to the United States, and then they're back on regular Medicare, and then there's a larger percentage they have to pay. And so that becomes an issue. So there's a lot, guys. But I think medical will be the biggest problem physically and payment wise that people will deal with. And then even kind of like me, when I left officially the United States into Mexico and we got on that plane in Mexico, I said, I know it's like the Wild Wild West from here. If an aspirin doesn't fix it, or you can't get somewhere, we're in the center of the city. We're only a quarter of a mile, not even that. It's walking distance to the nearest hospital right now for us. And it would still, you still have to, when you go to a hospital here, payment is due now. That's the problem. Why do you think I got super glue here? I'm going to glue you back together, Humpty Dumpty. When something happens later.
Yeah, Will Smith says, even a young person, I wouldn't self-insure, as you could still get a very serious illness or get in a car accident. Laura says, I went through a retirement benefits nightmare of errors, but thank God it got fixed. There you go. Family insurance is about 12 to 2,000 a month now.
Yeah, we know
that's
it's
about
done
right.
In
That's about
in
right.
the United States, it's crazy. And I mean, I get it, but he's he's in his early 30s, and I just can't, what if nothing seriously, it's just little things. So that's why he pays a doctor bill here and a doctor bill there, and that's what we're doing now. But anything big, I see why Mark joked around and said, just leave me there afterwards, because it's insane. But
yeah, no, it is. Laura says you have PPOs and HMOs. HMOs do not do extra testing. HMOs do preventive medicine.
George's girlfriend calls his burner phone.
Apps. See, you don't need a burner phone anymore, like Big Dave says. All you need to do is download an app. That's the messed up part about smartphones now. It makes cheating so much easier.
And you know what else it makes? That I don't care. As long as I get left alone to sit here and eat my pizza and watch my Netflix shows and my gossip Lifetime stuff and all these 90 Day Fiance shows that I like to watch, and my YouTube drama stuff in the Philippines, I'm good to go, man. So you go on.
Yeah. Now, being a veteran, this is one of the good things. Vets Vlog says, very informed. I have gray insurance, being retired Army, but my brother doesn't. I'm wanting to take my brother to Thailand, to the Philippines, for dental and health checkup. That's one of the good things of being a veteran. Again, you have good medical coverage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Radar says recovering from the worst sickness in my life was from treatment. No. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Laura. Thanks so much. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Yeah.
That's so much
That will
appreciated.
go to Heidi's ice cream fund.
That ice cream didn't cost that much. I thought you were going to get that Honey Pot Hotel for New Year's. There really is a place called
There
Honey
really
Pot
is
in
a Honey
Angeles.
Pot. Yeah, no, really.
It's
And
like one of those, I hate to say, I'm just going to say it's skanky,
skanky. It's not
$22.
skanky if it has working women. At least we know it's a place of work.
Oh, so maybe we should do a potluck lunch over there with them, and
Definitely.
you can bring donuts and ice cream, and maybe they'll let you in.
It's not their fault that they have hardworking women over there.
You know, next time instead of bringing me ice cream, if you would just say do the laundry, I'd be good to go. Because I mean, you act like that. I don't know. It doesn't. It's nice to see the donuts and ice cream on the occasion, but I'd much rather have gift certificates to have laundry done. Thank you.
Oh, dang. What's it all about? Says, maybe World Zoom will swoop right in and take care of Jen and the peeping baby. See what you did now? Now it's a peeping
I'm
baby.
gonna make a song. Check out. We got some
Now
other
it's a
songs.
peeping baby.
And like your rib bone song, you left that bone on the table. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, rib bone. Go make me a rib bone sandwich, woman.
No, you don't get any of that till Thanksgiving. And if you keep it up, there still ain't gonna be that.
Thanksgiving. That's until next year.
Correct, because you're only getting spam for Christmas.
I love spam.
I know you probably would want
Win-win.
Right.
You're
only getting rice.
Well, hey, JR. Morning, George and Heidi. That was a quick break, George.
He came back with ice cream. I mean, you're just lucky I didn't say everything about your other jobs.
Go within. Carnivore diet is curing many medical problems. Look at well.
We definitely have. There's the pros and cons, depending on people's medical condition.
You'll have.
And here's another thing: we ain't got the carnivore money. If you're just in the Philippines getting good meat, and carnivore means certain types of meat. Even if you go with the cheap cuts and you do the cheap, stuff that's on carnivore. I tried that for a while a few years back, and it's when I had bank back in the US and George had bank. That's expensive to be on the carnivore diet because everything is, the high fats, high butters, I believe they're all organic and all this stuff. No, that adds up quick. They claim it doesn't, but I'm sorry, it does.
Carnivore diet is really expensive. I mean, taking them out, every night. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I get it, but it's not for everybody. And I just have to go with that.
Chosen One says evil YouTube brand zoom off. Thaddeus says the ones that are purged are called ninja accounts in the Philippines.
Ninja accounts.
Actually, most of it happens in the US. Actually,
what's that? I don't know what that means.
The ones that got purged.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
those happen in the US.
It happens everywhere, but I don't think they're the fake accounts that people create and they buy. Like here,
and that was when we were in the US.
Just to be honest, we know that. Well, I guess I shouldn't go into details, but nobody's a fool to know that there are 101 companies everywhere around the world selling those views. But it evidently shows when the girls have 8 views per video. It's too obvious. Them is what I would call some sort of ninja account. No, those were legit accounts. I just think a lot of them were just old, or I don't know.
Mark Goldberg says Mark knew he had a serious health problem and often said, see, that's the problem. He did say a lot about this. Often said he'd rather be unalive than have another heart operation. If he didn't register his child and make a plan for his wife, then he's a fool.
And it's going to take her a long time. On the side note, if anything happens to him, and it's going to take her a while, but she's got her youth, she's got her beauty, she's going to get a check for the kid every month. And if she can get that going, but it's going to take her a few months, but at least, like I said, now she can have money wired to her, and she should be glad it's not like 1990 where she wouldn't be able to get any money. It would take forever, get a paper check and everything. But it's just, she will get somebody that will come in and take care of her. She's got her sister and the in-law and everybody else that is there. I'm sure she will be more than fine. Way finer than probably half the people here, expats and Filipinos.
Yeah, I really like.
But
Yeah.
it's just sad because it's just, I'm sure she cares. It's still the father of the baby. He's still got kids back in the US. It's all in all, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I love this statement because a lot of people forget this. Laura says, if you have a brain, you can have a stroke.
That is
and
true,
a lot of
Laura.
people think, oh, that'll never happen to me. Wrong.
No, it can.
It can.
Just been sit there going off earlier today and happen. I had one of the kids' aunts was like 27 years old. She was in the bathroom and she wasn't doing a number 2. She just simply had an aneurysm, and it was like whatever, the quick stroke, aneurysm all at the same time, and she never got off the toilet. It's, you're never promised tomorrow, even now, as much as has been said today. Focus in Asia said, happy holiday to all. Bah humbug to the trolls. You know what? Nobody or any of us would be anywhere without them. We get there's viewers, but I would agree with our Philippine Journey who we watch, and he said it's not a democracy when it comes to that. A lot of these trolls are usually other YouTubers or people that go into all the channels and wreak havoc. They're guys that are what do you call that? They're deflecting what's really going on them, on what's actually going on. They make the YouTube world go round. Every company, every vlogger has them. And we now, understand the game, and it makes the channels go round. So they're welcome. They may get blocked for saying, like he said, they may get blocked for certain things, but we're all good with that, I know George loves them. Who's your biggest troll? You said it was me. I'm your number one fan.
She is.
Like, hey George, what are you doing? What you doing in the bathroom?
Yeah. Will Smith says, I'm not big on vaccine conspiracy as my background is in this area. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
no, I know.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Unfortunately, with the time frame and the restart, we have a day.
Will Smith says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Kid Manila, your statement tells me that you are probably in high probability a Filipino.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah, it's political in nature, so that's why I can't.
I think people do things in addition to AdSense. Well, he actually said, he actually said that YouTube pays out an average of. So for those that are monetized, that's
Hillbilly in Asia.
But even if they have a side hustle, there's not that. It's not that. Only, I'm going to guess, even the ones that are monetized and have something on the side is still what, 10%, even if they get sponsored.
Yeah.
It's still not a big percentage, and 63,000 is a lot.
Now,
even for sponsorship.
There's a lot of falsehood about YouTubing. Like Hillbilly in Asia says, YouTubers have to pay taxes now. They've always had to pay taxes, and the ones that
been
say,
about at least 4 years we've known of.
The ones that say, "Oh no, we don't," lies. You know why? There's something. They hold your taxes. You probably don't pay them because YouTube's already paying them for you on your behalf. If that makes any sense.
There's
they
a whole
take
thing
them,
around it,
but if you pay your own taxes, and then YouTube won't withhold as much.
Correct. So George, being the channel can only be in one name, y'all. Even if it was in my name, it would still be that I'm living permanently in the Philippines. They still would consider me being here.
Well, even
the
if
whole
you live
point
in the US, they would still hold that taxes.
You're still in the Philippines, and therefore you need to be registered as a YouTuber, American, wherever you're from, expat or Filipino. We've been through that. And yes, there's taxes. It doesn't matter. A lot of them are just paying their taxes to the U.S. or they're just not filing at all.
Correct.
So
there's a difference between you're not being taxed at all. Incorrect. You're always getting taxed.
And then on the taxes for the channel, there's a percentage currently that they're still taking from the US that go into some sort of royalty something and something.
Well, that's royalties. That's different.
There's something
That's
else that they're
royalties.
taking, and
That's
they
for you
keep
using
it.
their platform.
They keep it, claim they filed it with something, and then they just give us some form that just states they did. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It gets a little more complicated, and so properly being done, somebody has to be responsible for the channel, guys, and so it is supposed to be done. It's kind of like the medical care and everything else here, and them keeping the extra medical in the United States that was supplemented. And not registering with Social Security and all these. It's how you turn the blind eye on everything. So
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're not physically paying it yourself. It doesn't mean you're not paying it. You're paying it one way or another. The difference is YouTube automatically takes it away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. White Summer says Merry Christmas, everyone. I have to go. Big Dave says Jen's gonna inherit Mark's cruise ship.
Probably. Hey, Thaddeus. Thaddeus said Phil Health is bankrupt. We know there's something going on right now. We've been reading it on and off in the news. Last I seen, they're not paying the supplements for the older people, and there's a bunch of money that hasn't been paid off. The radar's talking about the wet spot. Yeah, I'll do the wet spot in the spying, staring baby song later. So let's see. Donald Russell. You've probably been in here before. He says hello, George. And Heidi. He said Vancouver, British Columbia. Of course, we had Prepper. Victor said spam. Prepper Expat PH. Of course, we had our regular, people that come in and watch. And again, everybody's welcome and to spread and talk. And it is to be a discussion. I just wish there was more we could have went into. I was going to cover more on, we will see about the up and coming court hearing. So it is still on. He's supposed to return in January for the physical fight in Dumageddon where he did, and he did lawyer up. So it doesn't look good all the way around. So prayers for the family and his kids. If they found our live stream, or his adult kids are up there, they're not young anymore. And he did go out by saying his own thing. Yeah, I was going to have you play that again, but there's no reason for that. Focus in Asia. I have to check on Ted. I don't think Ted was in the house.
No, he wasn't.
So I'm going to check on, because I think that's like 2 lives. We know that.
Yes, Victor C. That is a Christmas in the background.
Yeah.
We don't have it in the camera because of the lights. It kind of distracting.
Yeah, so usually, you can see the 2020 ornament and
it's
stuff.
on a cycle. It changes the pattern on the, how Christmas lights are now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sometimes it flashes. And
like right now, he just did. See, you can see it in the background. It's flashing. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, JR, for your support. Thank you so much, Laura, for helping us out. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All of the members, and guys, just keep it real. That's all.
Right, keep it real. Thank you so much, Victor C. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Tony Manning. Hey, Tony. He said,
Hey, Tony.
He said, can I have the dirty party with the Beanie Babies?
There you go.
They're probably already having a white party right now.
I keep forgetting that's what they're called.
What's that? Dirty?
Oh, no, white party.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just weird. So, all right, guys, we're just gonna say our byes here.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
appreciate
Mark,
you so much.
And members,
yes, Mark
and everybody
Goldberg.
returning.
Thank you so much for being here.
But we'll see by the next live if George really did quit. So, and he still might not show up for Saturday's live.
Thanks for live streaming Philippine Antics. Thank you so much, guys.
All right, guys.
Love
Let's
you guys.
hold on. April, FYI, YouTube doesn't hold taxes. They just send a 1099 to file. Yeah, they actually do. We get $60 or $70 taken out easily every month, so they do.
And that has nothing to do with the country.
Says pre-tax on it, has nothing. We understand that it's considered like, okay, it's the same as self-employed, and that's what they call it here, but they do withhold the money. So
Yeah.
I would check again if you're a YouTuber and that you think that's what's going on, because we see the breakdown every month and it says exactly how much they're taking out. And it depends on how you're telling them that you're running things. If you're in the US and you're self-employed and there's something different going on, if you're living in the Philippines and then you're filing a certain way, because like George Bings, it's a company outside, but they have the office in Singapore, it will change all of that. So the US may do something a little different, but I know that when I was self-employed with that 1099, I don't know about the K part of it. I don't know what on the K section, but they still took mine out. So taxes still came out. So, yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Talk to you later. All right. Bye.